Acting? Acting. Hi, I'm Alicia.
And I'm Tiana.
We're two working actors. We happen to be women.
We happen to be Black. Sometimes that matters.
And sometimes it doesn't. Either way,
we're here to talk about all things acting, from personal experiences
to the industry itself, and of course our love of the craft.
So join us as we chat with each other, as well as the occasional acting friend, as we talk about all things
acting. Hello, guys.
Hi.
Welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back to another episode.
Yeah, we're rocking and rolling.
Yes.
It's a beautiful day. The weather's finally breaking and spring is here.
Yeah, it's decent. I saw a couple of bugs, so that's how I know it's on.
Yeah, the spiders have started coming out of the
ants.
Oh, the ants.
Like I've seen a couple ants.
I haven't seen any yet. The ants always get bad around here. It's rough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's fine. I'm just ready for it to be nice and breezy.
Mm-hmm. I just really want to be able to sit outside again.
Yes.
And be comfortable.
Yes.
You know. Yeah.
Yeah.
How's your week?
Well, I was going to say you were outside this weekend, right?
I was outside briefly, a little bit. Yeah.
Wasn't it outside the film fest?
No. Well, no. So it was so I went to a film festival and I volunteered at the Garden State Film Festival. This was in Asbury Park. And the way they set it up is they had the film screenings at I think like 4 or 5 different locations. So each location like had like different blocks. So you just kind of had to like map out the schedule and figure out where you wanted to go if you were an attendee. I volunteered, so they told me where I was going. And I actually got put into like one of the main buildings, which is where they held like their larger panel discussions and the first night meet and greet, as well as like the second night they had a gala there. Today they had the big panel with like a lot of like the award winners for the festival. So it was really it was neat. But I say that to say it was all indoors, so there was no time spent outdoors.
Oh, for some reason I thought you were outside.
No, I did go to the Cherry Blossom Festival yesterday, and that was outdoors. And I did post pictures of that, and that was outdoors. Yeah, I went to that before I went to the film festival for my volunteer shift.
I guess it is time for that, for the
festival season.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. But they weren't bloomed. They were like the buds were just starting to get onto the trees. It's too early because today is March 29th, so it's too early in the season. Last year they had it closer to like mid-April, which was more appropriate, and like you had all like pretty petals and whatever. Nothing was bloomed. We were lucky to have 3 trees that had petals on them.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but it was nice because it was like a lot of Japanese culture and stuff, which was really cool. I got a really pretty fan.
Yeah. Yep.
It was nice.
What color?
It was actually, I can go grab it really quick if you
you can absolutely go grab it. Like,
hold. I'm just gonna.
Yes, guys, every week I do this, I don't have a performance of the week written down, so I'm gonna have to think of something. I'm glad I had this moment. I'm glad I had this moment to reflect.
I'm so excited to edit this and find out what you're saying.
Okay.
All right, so it came with this pretty.
Oh my gosh.
This pretty little case.
That's so nice. Oh, that's a nice one.
So I'm a fangirl, so I traveled a lot when I was younger, and I would always collect a fan wherever I went. So like my friends and my family started getting me fans, and I hadn't gotten any in a while. So the other day I was thinking to myself, I was like, oh, I have to look for a new fan, and I want like a good quality one, not just like a cheapie. And then I went to the festival and saw this, and I was like, ooh.
That's a nice one.
Thank you.
It's really pretty.
Yeah, it was cute. So.
Okay, so were you able to see any films during the film festival or just
Yes. So it was really neat because like the way so I only worked 2 nights. It's a 4-day festival, but I only worked for or volunteered for two of the nights. And the first night was Thursday night, and that was the Meet the Filmmakers event. And that was like, so technically they were playing films throughout the day. I didn't go to any of those. I had a dentist appointment. I had to get two cavities filled that day. Terrible. But I went after to the meet and greet, and it was almost like a meet and greet kind of, where like
Mhm.
it's like a cocktail hour, so all like the filmmakers and people who bought tickets to the event, so like it's just like civilians, I guess, and volunteers and just like workers, like you just all kind of go and like you mingle and you meet each other. And then they showed the trailers for all of the films, or like most of the films that were playing at the festival that weekend.
Nice.
So that was the first night that I volunteered, and that was really, really interesting. I
Yeah.
met like a lot of people that night and made like a lot of cool connections that I'm really excited for.
Mhm.
And then I went yesterday, and the way that the room is set up, I was like a ticket holder or a ticket
Mhm.
taker. So like the doors came in and like you're already in the theater. So like I could sit and like watch the screen. I didn't have to go into like any doors or anything. So um or go through any doors or anything. So I was able
Mhm.
to see everything. And the block that I watched was the horror block. So it was a bunch of like these horror shorts.
That's up your alley.
Tiana, I was like, what are the chances
That's
that
up
that
your
is what they
alley.
gave me? Like, I was so stunned, and like, I'm so eternally grateful and like blessed that like things like just work out in that way for me sometimes. It was
Mhm.
really neat. And I got to meet the writer of one of the films that showed, and like we had like this amazing conversation. Like she's this beautiful woman, Emily Byrne. She had a short called A Real Lady Killer. I don't know if they're like actually showing it anywhere, if it's just for
Mhm.
the festival season, but it was just like such an amazing experience.
Okay, so now I have two questions here. So when you're
Hmm.
like working an event like that, because I find that a lot of, especially actors that are working consistently, they'll do gigs
Hmm.
like this where
Hmm.
even though you were volunteering, like they might do like a paid gig like that where they're working an event. How
Yeah.
do you or do you introduce yourself as an actor, or do you kind of play that down? Because connections are a huge part, especially at this level. Connections are a huge
Yeah.
part of you getting
Yeah.
exposure and work and stuff.
That is such a good question. Thank you for asking that. It's funny that you asked that. No, 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 because that really is a good question. Because my first night, I did not know what to do. I did not know what was the social etiquette. I didn't know, like, I didn't want to make a faux pas. So I'm like, I was very hesitant to like be open and honest about being an actor. But then I
Mhm.
started talking to people and learning what like my fellow volunteers did and how they ended up being there, and then talking to people that worked the event, and then just talking to like other filmmakers.
Mhm.
And everyone was so open and honest about what they were doing. Like I literally one of like the leads that I was working with, like he was in charge of like the, I guess, a part of like my volunteer event, whatever. um he was telling me like flat out, like straight up, he's like, I'm a filmmaker. Before he told me like anything else about him, he's like, he introduced himself as, I'm a filmmaker. And pretty much everyone that I spoke with introduced themselves with what they did before they went on. I mean, I literally had a guy who was, I think, a filmmaker. I don't know what he did though.
Mhm.
But he made a joke, and he's like, "Oh, what's your second job? Because we need that to pay the bills. Like for this, like it's very acknowledged that this is a working world, which I really appreciated." So to answer your question, long-winded way of saying, by the end of the night and by my second day, I absolutely was introducing myself as an actor. I was like, I'm an actor. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm pursuing. This is what I'm interested in. Um, and it just like led to some really good conversations.
Yeah, you're really good at that. You're really good at making like connections and like, especially in that type of environment. Like, I almost feel like like you were saying, it's understood that, and it's not, you don't have to be like obnoxious about it, but to be like,
Right.
yeah, like, I've done a couple of things and hopefully I'll do things in the future. I feel like that's the perfect
Yeah.
setting for that. So that's a good,
Yeah.
you said you made a lot of connections. I was like, yep, that makes a lot of
Yeah.
sense.
And
Yeah.
that was like really like one of the, aside from just like wanting to experience being at a film festival, because I've never
Mhm.
really gone to them before.
Yeah.
That was one of the reasons that I wanted to volunteer, because I'm like, it's a perfect opportunity to try and
Mhm.
network. But like, it's funny, when I went to the premiere for something that I was extra in last year, I did the opposite. I didn't mingle. I clammed up in a way that like really frustrated me, like upset me to my core. And I said, I never want to do that again. I never, if I put myself in these positions, I need to show up and show out. So I kind of went in with that mindset, and I like I said, I was able to make some really like neat connections out of it.
Yeah, I agree on that because it's like I don't go to a lot of stuff, but when I do, like I say to myself, if you're gonna go, you're not gonna go and stand in the corner. Like it is important
Mm-hmm.
that if you're going to like an event or like a meetup for the cast or something like that of a
Yeah.
project you're working on, that it is important for you to engage,
Mm-hmm.
at least a little bit to make it
At
work
least a little
out.
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And it's like, and honestly, at the end of the day, when you realize like most people just want to feel seen and want to feel heard, if you look someone in their eye, they're gonna take that moment to like to stop and like maybe continue the conversation, maybe move on. Like not every I didn't speak to every single person I like, I interacted with last night, but
Mhm.
like they were able like there was just small moments of like really like getting to know people in a short amount of time.
Yeah. My favorite thing to do besides mingle over the food
Mm-hmm.
is to talk with the older people that are there, like the older
Mm,
actors, because there's a lot of them that have been doing this for decades. And I
yeah,
love just picking their brain and getting their life story because a lot of times
yeah.
they'll tell you, and it's amazing just to hear like what they've gone through. And sometimes you get a lot of good advice that way. There is
Mm-hmm.
a group of people in like our parents' generation that are creatives at heart, but for whatever reason didn't fully follow their dreams. And I always love interacting with them on like independent projects or community theater projects because they'll give you encouragement that you didn't know that you needed. Like
Right.
they'll say, yeah, I wish I was your age when like I discovered I was really into this stuff and I wish I went out to auditions and stuff like you're doing. And the
Yeah.
whole time you're over there thinking, dang, I wish I would have started when I was 10. And they're like, you know what I mean?
Like you're the
So
perfect age, right? It's like
you
yeah,
never know when you're
yeah.
gonna get words that will stick with you and encourage you, and it'll come from the most random place. And I think that's also why you should, network with people because you just never
Mm-hmm.
know.
You
Besides
just you,
the fact that it'll give you direct opportunities and stuff,
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah. It's just like it's you just I mean it's funny. Like I think I've said before, I feel like I keep because of like going in with that intention, I keep running into people who are in some way or another interested in this field or related to this field, right? It's just like being like having that openness. So genuinely you never know.
yeah,
Um it's really
yeah.
neat. Yeah, and I was saying to the guy, I remember we were just talking, chatting it up, and I was telling him, I was like, I didn't realize, and I feel kind of like slow to the catch up or like or to slow to the game of like I didn't realize how important festivals are for making those kinds of connections and for networking and for learning like and it made me think about what Shay said about the Oscars of like seeing what is being done now in the present,
Mhm.
like what is the trend,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, that's okay. So that's my second question I have for you then. Like, did you
Mm-hmm.
learn anything during the film festival? Like anything at all? Like, was there a piece of advice that was dropped at a panel or maybe like a technique in one of the films? Like, did you learn anything? And if so, what was it?
Technique, oh man, so okay, so there was this one short called Blindsided, and I can't really say I learned the technique, but I really admired, and like it was a perspective that I hadn't considered being used throughout like the entire film. So it was the camera, it was about a blind woman during like this alien invasion, and the camera was only on her face. So like the entire short, it was like a 10-minute short, like you only see her in this frame, and it's a close up and it's very shaky. And the filmmaker, he kind of talked about that. I think he was, I want to say, the writer and the director. And he talked about just like what that experience was like because then they had to rely a lot on the sound. And he originally started out as a sound guy. So like kind of to your point of like the older people, like you just like you see their journey and where they kind of end up along the way. Yeah.
That I feel like would be the ultimate show of your skills as an actor to
Mm-hmm.
have an entire 10 minutes just on your face. That's like
And she
gold.
did good. She ate
I
it
know,
up.
I know she had to do good because
Yeah,
otherwise it wouldn't be worth watching just someone's reactions if they
right.
weren't great. You know what
Right.
I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, she really ate it up and that was really neat to experience.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, there was something else too and I can't remember. It left my head. Sorry guys, that brain fog is getting me again.
Oh, feel
It's been a
better.
busy weekend. No, it was just being in that environment was really and just learning how much people really do rely on their network and like who they know. Like the writer that I had talked about, like she just was explaining to me like how everyone on her film were they were her friends essentially, like people that she had gone to school with, people that she had grown like this connection to outside of just making the art itself. And I thought that was like a good little like yeah, it is about your network and like the people that you know and that like you make genuine connection because it's not just and I think that's where people get like mixed up and confused with networking is they think like you're just going in there to like bullshit in someone's face and like kiss ass but like no it's like making a genuine connection and forming a genuine relationship with the people that you encounter like and like actually caring about each other is my opinion is what it should be about and how I try to approach it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Well, that's awesome.
yeah, it was a good experience. I'm trying to think if there was, oh my God, what the fuck did I, because there was something that was like relevant and I can't remember what it was.
Another technique, maybe?
No, this one wasn't technique. I'm not, I can't remember. It really left my head. I
Okay.
yapped too much, but it's okay.
Can you explain to people that don't know what a film festival is?
Yes, so it's funny because I didn't know what a film festival was for
I,
the longest
yeah,
time.
yeah.
And essentially it's just to my understanding, you have a bunch of filmmakers that submit their work to this or to the organization that sets it up, right? And then they go through and they show each of the films, and it's a way to get your work out there. It's also where I think like you can win awards. Like usually there's an award process. Like there was a table reading for the guy who had won best screenplay
Mhm.
and like things like that'll happen. Yeah, that's a good question because I don't know like officially what like the technical film festival like
Mhm.
definition is, but that's what my experience has been. Like the one that we went to back in I think October and November was kind
Mhm.
of very similar. It was like, you know, all the filmmakers had submitted for different categories. I mean, it's like a mini award show essentially.
Yeah. And they show some of them too.
And they show, yep, they show,
So
yeah,
like with the larger film festivals, they're like I can only imagine what it's like to go to those because they're showing like full length films. Whereas the festivals I've been to have been mostly like short films and they've been like 10 minutes each and maybe they'll show five
yeah,
of them in a row, take a break, have a panel, then maybe another few. But
yeah. With the
yeah.
occasional like feature, because like the one that I went to last night, so before the horror block, I worked for what they call two blocks, which is like you said, like how many movies they show in a section or whatever. And the block before that had been a feature length, like 2 hour long film. Girl, that movie was
Mhm.
long, but it was a documentary, and I'm not a huge documentary person, but it was good. It was and it was very well made. Um,
Yeah.
so that was an interesting. That was yeah. So I mean, so sometimes you'll have long periods like that, and like you said, I don't know. I could imagine going to the larger festivals where they are showing feature length after feature length after
Yeah.
feature length. Like
But you know,
that would wear me out.
I feel like more people should go to the indie film festivals that are
Yes, they should.
there's so many in your area
Yes, they should.
probably, and there's because anyone can really come together and create a film festival. And usually, like you
Yeah,
buy a ticket for maybe $20, $30, and imagine all of the stuff you're gonna see, and imagine all of the future like award winners that you're witnessing right now from the beginning. You can be like, oh, like this person's from my hometown and they made X, Y, and Z. Like you could see so much art. And I feel like
yeah.
were we just having a conversation about live? stuff. Who was having that conversation? I don't, maybe it happened inside of my head, but no, it happened at work. There's a woman at work that her community is very much into live music, and we've had
Hmm.
conversations about how it's so important to support the community and
Hmm.
support local arts. And I was telling her about like the stage plays I do and things like that. But it's important to support your local filmmakers as well because you can witness all of the fruits of their labor
Yeah.
before they get recognized by the world. And also you
Yeah.
can be entertained. And like, a movie ticket is a lot of money. So at this point, if you could see, imagine buying a ticket for one day of that film festival. You get to see a full length.
Countless.
Then you
Yep.
get to see probably like 10, 15, maybe shorts. You get to hear like
Yeah.
a panel like that. That'd be a great day for someone who especially doesn't have much to do and they just want to get out of the house. I think that's a
Yes.
great way to support.
Yes. Yes. Yes, it is. And what's really great about like local indie film festivals is that like a lot of them will be centered on the area. So like you get to learn
Yep.
your history, you get to
Yep.
see like the place that like you just see like you feel like it's like there's such a personal connection
Mhm.
to seeing works that are created from your home, you know? So it's like it's film festivals are very, very important. And I really I really want to start investing more time into them and going to them and just being at them.
Yep.
Yeah.
We were supposed to do a short little film fest of our own for Actors Lab. Remember
What
that?
about that? I forgot. Oh, we should
Still
still
do
do
it.
that. Yes. I'm trying to think, but like, how would we? Okay, no, we can do that though. Let's do it.
It'd be
I mean, because it's
easy. It would
kind of
just be
like,
like everyone write 5 pages, shoot it, and we'll just
yeah,
get together at someone's place and watch it. That's our film festival. Like
that's
that's
our film. No, that's literally, it's like, it'd be like the 5 minutes of anything except
on
we're telling
screen.
them what to do.
Yeah, yeah.
I love that. Yeah, let's do it.
We'll add it to the list of things we need to be doing.
Yeah. But that's one I feel like we could start working on at any time. Like, that's like something that I could work on in the background.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. It was
Yeah.
good though. It was a good weekend. I told myself next year I want to go for all 4 days. Like whether I'm volunteering. So what was nice about being a volunteer, and I wish I had more time. Um, like if I didn't work today, but what was nice about being a volunteer is that you essentially had access to almost all of the events. There were a couple that you had to buy a ticket for, but pretty much any of like the movie blocks where they were just showing films, like you had access to. Most of the panels you had access to. So next year I want to take all 4 days and volunteer again, work whatever, shifts they give me, and then in that time plan out my day and map up my day to see, what's what's being made. Yeah.
Nice.
And what's really nice is there were a lot of international films too. They recognized international filmmakers, so that's something else about indie film festivals that's really nice, is like that's as someone who loves international films, like that's where you can see a lot of like what's being made out in the whole wide world.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Nice. It's
Yeah,
a good week.
it
Yeah.
was. It was. Next year I'm gonna encourage all of my friends to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be fun. We should do that. That sounds like something we would do together anyway.
Right? Just just go pick a day.
Yeah.
Just
Well, you know how we could do that all together is if we created a freaking project together that we could put in the film festival and then we can all go.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I do have an idea, but I need to workshop it before I share it with anyone. I need to
Okay.
actually like sit down and put pen to paper
Yep. Yep.
because that's my problem. I'll have a million and one ideas, but when it comes time to actually write,
Yeah. I feel you.
but yeah,
Nice.
it'll yeah. No, it's nice. It's exciting. It's exciting stuff. I'm excited to delve deeper into this world, you know. I will say though, but lots of big person. I will
I
say though,
mean, listen,
lots of big personalities.
sometimes I forget and then I encounter someone and I'm like, you know what? I can't even be mad. This is acting. You want to be on the stage? I want to be on the
Exactly.
stage. Get it.
Exactly. Literally, literally. So one of the attendees last night, he was an actor and he didn't have a ticket, and they were trying to get in, made him buy a ticket. You know, there was a little bit of back and
Oh,
forth, and it was nothing bad, but it was definitely like two big personalities. I just had to kind of stand up to his personality because he was a very
oh,
big, and he was nice. He was like chill. He was really cool about it, but it was just an interesting encounter, and it was like, yes, you do have to also know how to navigate personality types, you know, or I should say it helps to know how to navigate personality types.
yeah. Yep.
So, and there was a
Well,
girl that passed out. Sorry.
because it was hot.
Yeah. Huh?
Because it was hot on was that Thursday?
She no, so this was actually yesterday. I don't know
Oh,
what happened, but like she ran to the bathroom and I was sitting over near the bathroom and my
mhm.
coworker or when my co-volunteer, whatever, he noticed her and he's like, ma'am, are you okay? And I saw her shaking, collapse to her knees and hit her head against like it was wild. And then I ran over and I helped and I feel like Loki, like I kind of saved the day and it was like a little dramatic moment in the middle of
Oh,
the screening.
I
And the
hope she wasn't like nervous. Was she like an actor or?
No, so she was a volunteer and like she refused medical attention. She didn't want anyone to like check over her. Like so she was so embarrassed. I feel so bad. Like she was
Yeah.
genuinely so embarrassed. Yeah, it was like it was an intense experience. Yeah. So and I felt like okay, of course things can't go off without a little something happening.
I'm glad she's okay.
Yeah, no, she was yeah, she was okay. She
Okay.
was it was really strange. Poor thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But other than that
So, have you seen anything that's performance of the week worthy?
oh, God, yes. Okay. So there were two that I had. There was this one short called Helga, and it took place in 1930s Austria, kind of right around the time when things were getting bad.
Mhm.
And it was about this Austrian girl who ends up it's gonna sound crazy, killing two Nazis, you know. And it was like really intense, but she acted her ass off. In like the 15 minutes she had, this young lady acted her entire butt off. And I wish I could remember her name, but it was foreign. It was like some type of European, I'm not sure, but she did so good. Phenomenal. And then there was another short called Dirty Girl, and from the trailer, because I remembered the trailer from Thursday, and from the trailer, I thought the story was going to be completely different than it was, and it ended up being so much better. Like I thought it was about to be like some sex crime horror, which is like really like skeeves me out,
Mhm.
and it kind of was, but it was leaned into it in a way that was really creative and like you could. It was just it felt very it was very impactful, and the actress was actually I don't know if she was the writer or the director. I missed it when they were introducing her, but she acted it and she had a hand in like actually like making the movie itself. And
Okay.
I wish I had stuck around to talk to her, but I she was so good and she was just the entire thing. It was called Dirty Girl.
Dirty girl.
Yeah, but I don't know
Okay.
if that might be on a festival run too. But
Right.
it was which sucks because it's like when am I going to be able to watch it? You
Yes,
know?
because to your point, why do directors do festival runs? And what is a festival run?
I don't know. T, I wish I knew the
I
answer
think
to that
it's just
question. I think it's a way to get funding, I to promote their film, to get eyes on it, to I know a lot of them will use it like I mean to my understanding it's a way to get funding and like to get support and like to find producers and like make those kinds of connections and then also get your film out there.
So get funding to reshoot the whole thing.
Ideally as a bigger project. Yeah.
Right, right.
Yeah, like a feature.
Okay. Yeah, we'll have
So
to
my
talk.
understanding.
We'll have to talk to
Yeah.
Dominic about that because I'm really interested in that.
Yeah.
Like, when do you say, okay, we're done with the festivals, now let's release it out to the world? Like, what's
Yeah.
your personal timeline? Very interesting stuff for me.
Yeah. Yeah. We can also talk to Lex when we talk to Lex,
Okay.
when we interview Lex, because I think she's some I want to say she submitted an internal flame,
Mhm.
or she plans on submitting, or
Okay.
she submitted her first one. I don't know. I
Mhm.
know she's submitting something at some point in time. Um,
Yeah.
but
But
there was a reason, yeah.
you know how that, speaking of, that affects actors sometimes because sometimes you want footage for your reel, but
Mm-hmm.
you have a director that does not want to release any part of it to the public yet. You may not be able to get that footage until they've decided, okay,
Yeah.
we're done with the festival run. So I
Yeah.
remember being a bigger conversation when I first started going to Actors Lab, but I didn't quite understand it because I hadn't really done anything. But
Mm-hmm.
that's always an interesting conversation. Like it's always a fight at this level to get to get footage.
Right.
Most of the
Right.
time, though, most of the time there's a fight to get your footage because they haven't finished editing, which editing takes forever, especially if you're not like a professional. Because let me
Mm-hmm.
tell you something. Let me tell you something. I really want to film and shoot all of the scenes that like I'm writing for this one project. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
who's going to edit it. I'm not paying anyone to do it, so I'll do it, but I don't know how long that's going to take. We might not be
Right.
releasing stuff until 2029. Okay.
Like, because that's how much of a pain in the ass editing is. But I've said it before, I'll say it again. It's a labor of love.
Yeah, it
It
is.
is
It is.
truly a labor of
Because,
love.
and also with editing, me personally, I know that the editor contributes so much to the story.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't believe that, Brian always says this, and also there's so many different examples now on the internet of people editing horror movies as comedies or editing
Mm-hmm.
comedies as horror. Like you can re-edit something and it'll change the entire plot line without changing
Right.
the dialogue, but just changing the or changing how like who reacts to what. So yeah, I don't remember why I went off on that tangent, but yeah, that was just an interesting fact I thought I'd share.
Yeah, no, that's such a good point of like, yeah, it is as an actor, it's because the idea behind festivals and festival runs is that you're not releasing it to the public. It is literally just for festivals. So
Yeah.
as an actor, yeah, you might have to wait until that director decides, okay, I'm done submitting it. Um,
Mhm.
you know,
Yep.
so that's how it goes. That's how
Mhm.
it goes. What about
Yeah.
you? Any performances of the week? Performances? Performance?
Yeah, let me go on my Rolodex here. I have started watching several clips of Dune.
Mm,
I've really brought myself back into this universe and I'm like
period.
so entranced by it again. But I still say that that scene with Oscar Isaac when he
Yeah.
is like about to die, that scene, the way that he
On
acts
the
with
steps?
his face when he's
Yeah.
in the chair and he's
Oh,
naked
yeah.
and he's
Oh, yeah.
that scene is crazy to me because I kept thinking not only is it like an amazing shock to the audience what happens in that scene, but as an actor, I'm thinking to myself, how crazy is it to not be able to move your entire body and barely move your face, and you still have to pull off some type of emotion, you still have to pull off something in your face. And I keep trying to figure out how does he do it? That scene always, out of everything in the first two movies, will always stick with me. That was such
Yeah.
an impactful scene. And he was just laying there, like he couldn't move. And it was just
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah.
Insane.
I remember the scene. I'm trying to remember.
He's basically the
It's
defensive
with the
fails, the Harkonnen come in,
and
and
they're in that meeting room, right?
yeah, they're in the meeting room and he's just laying on the chair naked.
Yeah.
And when what's his name comes up because he's like about to whisper something and he comes up close to his face and then he bites the poison tooth, and then
Yeah,
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 crazy scene.
yeah.
Crazy
Uh,
scene.
that's
Amazing.
solid. The Dune movies really were well done.
Yeah.
Really well done. I can't wait for the third one. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited.
Yeah. Yeah. It's that's
Mhm.
gonna be the fall is gonna be quite an experience for movie lovers.
Yes, it is. We got some big hitters coming out this year. Very excited.
Mhm. Yeah, I have a list. I'm for sure going every episode going forward. I'm gonna keep mentioning you, me, and Tuscany. Because now I've learned that I don't know if you've seen this, that the funding for that, I think she's the writer of that screenplay,
hmm
is dependent on how well that movie does. Because to the powers that be, I guess Black rom-coms don't really do well in their eyes. So I'm going to be plugging this movie every episode. By the time
What
this
the
comes out, the movie will have been released because I think it comes out this Friday, right?
is it this Friday?
I think it's close. I'm definitely gonna go see it. But yeah.
Um,
So,
and 11 days out, April 10th. Out.
okay, next Friday.
Yeah. Okay, 2 weeks. Yeah. Okay.
So
Well, that's crazy to me because black rom-coms, like the black rom-coms of the 90s and the aughts were phenomenal. They're classics. Like, what do you mean? And it makes me realize we have not had any like mainstream black rom-com in a very long time. Like obviously like black networks and black creators like are doing their thing, but like a mainstream black rom-com,
yeah.
I can't think of the last one.
Yeah, she said there was like a tweet, I think, that she said that she's trying to get like her other projects rolling and she was like, they won't meet with me until they see the numbers for this movie.
That's crazy.
Say less, girl. I went to see Black Panther 6 times. I'm not girl. I'm not playing. That's how I do my support.
She said, I am doing my part.
I hit every movie theater in Delaware. Like it's only like four. Like
But you went to them and
yeah.
Black Panther was seen. Okay.
It was also worth seeing too, so that helped.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Was this the
anyway.
first one or the second one?
The first one. Let me tell you
Mm.
something about the second one. Unfortunately, I cannot watch that movie again. Unfortunately. Not because it was bad, it was great, but the grief I felt, like you
Mm.
would think that I was grieving someone in my family.
Yeah.
And and the fact that it was a major theme in the movie and like they tied
Yeah.
it. Nah, I can't do it. I'm sorry. That was nah.
That is fair. That is fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well, on that note, hope you guys enjoyed my first volunteer film festival. I encourage everyone to go to one. I will be checking the Philadelphia area and seeing what's local because I think these are really great opportunities to meet people who are passionate about the same shit we are. It's great,
yeah. Well,
you know? So, bye.
we're out of here.